Welcome back to the Big Brain Podcast. I'm Ronov, that's Sneaky Thief, and that's Rendell, who doesn't have a camera because he got really angry and he chucked it at a little kid.
It's okay. Through the power of editing, you'll see something. Wee. But yes, hello, I'm Sneaky Thief, Val, R6 content creator. We know the jazz. I am a mouse collector. You know, that's the jazz. Moving down, Rendell.
Hello, I'm Rendell, and I am very illegally blind. Camera situation is mine doesn't work anymore. Well, it does. Well, no, it doesn't work. It kind of fell, did a Tarzan swing, and hit the wall, and it died, unfortunately.
You threw it at a little kid, didn't you?
So unfortunate.
Basically, I thought I was Thor, and I just started swinging it around like I did with his hammer, and then I tried to jump and fly, and I just fell face first. Essentially, what happened.
Anyway, this is a Rainbow Six Siege podcast, but we do talk about other things as well.
We have a variety of stuff, and him talking about how he's going to swing the hammer like Thor and all that, swinging into the first subject of the day. We've just been told about the next Siege Cup. It's on a Friday at 5 p.m. UK time. They done it again. They've done it again.
Another time. We literally can't try it again. What's this, like third or fourth?
I don't know what Ubi's...
third, I'd say.
No, this is about third. No, fourth
but
time.
It genuinely does look like, right now, the audience for the Siege Cup are all content creators, bubble pros and pros. Because they're the only people that can play it. I mean, the issue with Ubisoft is that they think everyone does a 7 till 3. Or like an early kind of work shift.
Or just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it does look like they're literally pointing to the audience of pros, bubble pros, streamers, content creators, but not only all of the little, kiddies at home.
Pro. You keep saying bubble pro.
What's with the bubble pro? Can't you
You know what bubble pros are?
No, I don't.
No.
A bubble pro is someone who can make land but never doesn't really do it. Maybe like once or twice, but then no. It's like a T2 or a T3 team.
Oh,
basically.
so they're basically like
bubble pro is.
They think they can make it to the top, but because they've got there once, but they can't consistently get there.
Gotcha. It's like it's more of a Rocket League term. It's stuck in my head from when I played Rocket League.
No wonder, because I've never heard that term in like CS.
Yeah, so
or Siege.
Bubble Pro is basically they can play with the pros, but obviously they're just not noticed enough. It's essentially what it is. It's just a T2 person or a T3 person, basically.
I mean,
okay, little fact of the day.
There you go. Still though, I feel like Siege Cup. The more I want to try it, the more I'm gonna get disappointed by it, and I'll say why. Because from last episode, big shout out to Kangaroo Kenny for coming on to the last episode to come and have a chat with us. We really appreciate that once again. I
love him.
I can't sugarcoat enough how much we appreciate it. But when we were talking about it, I do agree with the fact that he said it's not exactly like playing professional Rainbow Six Siege. It's basically that Ubi decide, let's just slot it in the middle, 5 rounds to win instead of 7. No Pro League maps, none of that. It's just 4 maps. One of them isn't even in the Pro League at all. I can't remember what map it is. I think it's either Cafe or something else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Did he say concert? I think he said either Cafe or concert. I'm not actually too sure.
It's one of those two. But I feel like we would hype ourselves so much to play this, and then once we somehow, through any miracle whatsoever, would get the chance to play it, we'll just be coming away a little disappointed, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think, even if we are happy or disappointed with the outcome, I think giving it a try or a go should still be on the cards. Because because you got to experience it at least one. But I do agree with everyone when they say if it was more like the Face It and the Go Fours, then it would be way, way better. Because Ubisoft have an opportunity to have a in-game tournament platform and do it right for the community. But at the moment, it's kind of like... But to be fair, it is still in beta, so there are changes to be made. So I think a lot of people just jump in the gun, but at the same time, it doesn't look massively great. The annoying
thing, right, it's something they've spoken about for so long. And it's gone to the point, it's been like, what, a year or two since it was first spoken about,
Yeah,
and it's still in beta, and it's still once every blue moon.
that
Right.
I agree. Yeah,
It's so, I don't know, poorly done, I guess.
they
Um,
first teased it like 4 or 5 years ago, and then they went back saying we don't have the manpower to do it. Understandable, and now they have it, and you want to get as many people on it as much as you can, just so you can test out and see what's gone right, what's gone wrong. But the problem is, as Ronald said, like it's in a time period where no one's really, the majority of the audience isn't going to have a chance to play it. It's what I said in terms of that, where it's not really in lines with what Pro League says. And Rendell, you said it best, which is like they're missing out on an opportunity here, major opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. They're targeting the wrong people, I think. Well, no, not the wrong people, but they're targeting half of their people. Is kind of the issue. If you made like 2 in the same day, it would make sense. But then saying that, when was the last time we tried to join it? When that was in November, right? Was it November? I'm pretty
I can't
sure.
remember.
'Cause it was not
ooh,
December, because it seems like it's been a month and a little bit before they've
I think it
announced
was
another one.
December, because it was like one of the first things we spoke about ever
Oh
on
yeah,
this
it
pod.
was. Yeah,
Oh
We
yeah, it
started the
was.
pod in
Yeah.
December, I think.
it was. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, it's just disappointing, really, isn't it? And I feel like the communication with it is a bit odd as well.
I agree.
Like, surely there should be a notification in game as well.
Yeah, that's
There's going to
actually
be one,
that's a
Oh, that's
point. Yeah,
that's a good
and there's
point.
like a little countdown to when it's going to happen.
you have to go to the Siege Discord, like the legitimate Siege Discord, in order to get the exact times. Because that was one of the things that when we first talked about it and I showed it, the timings were correct to what I said, but when it was adjusted to what they were actually expecting, which is EST and everything else, the timings was actually very different, which is where I got the illusion of everything being a bit wrong. So the communication there is very poor. And then now it's just, they spring it on like it's happening next week. So like, oh, you got a week to prepare. That's great. But again, it's at a time period where you have to do all these time conversions. You have to go to Discord to see it, and no one's going to know about it because not everyone's going to be checking the Twitter just to be like, oh, when's the next Siege Cup going to happen? No one's going to do
Yeah,
that.
I delete Twitter like every week and then reinstall it, so I'd probably miss it. But yeah, just like a little countdown in game would be lovely. Again, like Rocket League, they've got that.
Yeah.
It'd just be nice. But there must be a reason, right, for how like inconsistent this tournament is.
Yeah.
The Siege Cup.
I think they're still trying to figure out how to do it correctly, which at
Do
the
you
same
think it is
time,
staffing?
Maybe. I think it
maybe.
is because I think they're just starting to get people like dedicated to this, get an idea of how it works. Maybe they are going to modify the modes properly to accommodate for Pro League. I don't know. Maybe you're right. It is staffing.
So I
At the
feel
end
like,
of the day, it's still in beta. So
yeah, I feel like it's in those hours out of work. It's in work hours because it's the employees that are still in work, the Ubisoft people that are trying to like manage it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't
That's
really know how it
actually-
works.
No, that's a good point
But
because yeah, as you say, they have
Monitor
to be.
it.
They're monitoring it and getting as much data as they can. They can't do it when it's not
yeah,
happening.
because I remember the first one they said it was at like 2 o'clock, for us, and they said, oh, it's at 2 o'clock because the Ubisoft employees had to be like there in office to make sure it all goes smoothly.
Mm,
So I don't know. Could be a
That's
bit
true.
of that.
could be actually.
It,
The more you think
it'd
about
just
it,
be
yeah.
nice to try it, really.
It'd be nice
Yeah.
if they could just give it a chance to like, put it in a time period that it suits a lot of people, and figure out a way to still collect the data that they need to know. Maybe that's me stretching it because obviously I don't know what Ubisoft's work environment's like, and I don't want to know because we've had an episode where we chatted about the troubles. But at the end of the day, man, I think it just. I'm a bit worried. I'll just say it like that. I'm a bit worried. I can lead on
Yeah.
to it a bit, but that's more like going into another thing like Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed again.
Oh yeah.
the
Are you looking forward to
Japanese
that?
one.
Yeah, that's the Japanese one. You know what? Say what you just said. Are you looking forward to it? The more I see it, a little bit, but I'm very skeptical. Very
What?
skeptical.
Would you say the more it gets delayed, the more hype you're getting for it?
No, not that. That's what's making me skeptical. Because I'm
Okay.
like, okay, they are taking a lot of time because they know it's their last shot. But
It's usually a good sign
it's a good
when it is
sign.
delayed.
But at the same time, I've seen games that have been delayed loads and loads of times and come out poor.
Like
So,
Cyberpunk.
yep.
We said the same thing.
Literally, I love that game to death. And right now, in its state, currently right now, amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. But, I was hyped for the game. And then it was delayed, and I was thinking, it's going to be one of the best games, which is good on the marketing side because they really sold it as one of the best games to come out. And it took me a few weeks to admit it was a fucking mess of a game in terms of stability, performance, and all that sort of stuff. So that's my main concern going into Shadows. But the more I see like tidbits of gameplay, I'm a little excited. I think there could be something really special here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go.
Same.
I just find it really hard to get excited for games these days.
Same.
I think we've just been dished out so much disappointment, just slop. And it's just like my expectations for games are like in the ground.
Mine's very dependent on a few things. So for me, one of them is essentially like, is it from a studio that I know? Because typically then I'm not excited as much because I know what to expect. But something like Black Myth Wukong just came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And I see more of it, I go, oh, this looks really good. And another good example was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which was on Xbox Game Pass. Looks absolutely incredible.
I've heard that's really good as well.
Yeah, my mate's been playing it, and he's a massive fan of Indiana Jones. I grew up through Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls and then watching the other films, and it really does a good job of portraying Indiana Jones properly.
You remember that guy when he got taken away by the ants?
Oh yeah. Oh god, that
scared me as a kid.
That was a horrific scene.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck! What if ants just decide to take me as well one day?"
What was in that? Is that the Crystal Skull?
Yeah, that was the one.
I think so, because I think I had that on DVD.
I did as well. It's the one where he just looks, he goes, "What was that? Ants, big damn ants, let's run!" And it's just a mountain of like red ants.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scary.
Absolutely
So terrifying.
considering that a lot of movies and comics are being made into games recently, what's something you would want to see be put into a game or a solo game that hasn't come out yet?
What an excellent question,
That's a
Mr.
good
Rendell.
question. That's a good question.
You got any ideas?
Ooh,
Something as a film, like something as a show or film into a game.
So imagine like you've seen the new Wolverine film and you've seen a new Wolverine game come out, right? What's like a character? You don't have to use that kind of example, but that's what I'm leading with. As in, like, what character or what kind of franchise would you want to see get put into a game where you can play?
Oh, what about like a Peaky Blinders game?
Or they have done that, but it's done in a like I don't know how. I have to get some footage.
Would you rather that be in a kind of like GTA style kind of thing? Because you're gonna have to like score or a Red Dead Redemption kind of.
No,
I'd like it as a Red Dead type style.
Yeah,
I want it
mechanics
as
and shit.
I want it like a Telltale style game.
Nah.
First or third
I would
person.
love
I
it.
think third person would probably be better.
Yeah, I'd say third because then you can admire like the character details and shit and the bunda.
You know what?
Telltale.
I know. I got my medium that I want as a game. The Boys.
Yeah. The Boys.
Oh,
The Boys.
that's a good
The Boys.
shout.
I just want a level where I play as Homelander, and I do whatever the fuck I want. Literally.
What would it be though? Just like open world?
I think so. Maybe that you're trying to join the Seven, and then you just realize how fucked up that group really is.
I think it would have to have a different narrative to the show. So I think you'd start off as a promising superhero, ready to join the Seven. You figure out this guy named Billy Butcher is trying to kill everyone. You go and stop him. He tells you the quote-unquote truth. You go back, you find out, and think, oh, fuck this. And then you start to do all the stuff with them. But it would have to be a very much like the show. It wouldn't have to. You couldn't water it down. You have to have the gore. You have to have the language.
Definitely.
It has to have everything that the show has.
I think maybe like a choice dependent game as well with that. So you make the wrong choice, and like this mate that you've been bonding with throughout your entire playthrough
Oh, that's a
just,
good
like
idea.
gets ripped apart.
I haven't
I
seen
feel
one
like
of
that'd be
those
brutal.
come
Have
out in a
you-
while since Detroit.
Have anyone played Infamous by any chance?
Yes.
No.
Right, so Ben, the game Infamous is like a superhero game, and you're a guy that has control over electricity for the first 2 games, and it has like a morality system. So you could be like a very good person, like a proper superhero, or you could be infamous, as it says in the title. You're just an evil bad guy,
Fable.
Okay.
like Fable. Yeah,
Fable's a great example. I love
I
Fable.
like those
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
I would if it ever comes out on PC, like Second Son or any of the Infamous games, I'd recommend you give them a try because it's like a
Ooh.
that's what I would want the boys to kind of base the gameplay around is the Infamous games.
I find it as well with those sort of games. Sometimes they can hit miss the mark. So like you have these choices, but then they lead to nothing. So like with Fable, when you started making bad choices, like your fucking armor and weapons would just start going dark, and that was just cool.
Do you remember
Group
the Fable 3 where you actually become, sorry, spoiler alert, you become the king and you now have to manage your whole like country's economy in order to prepare for the Dark Force while being a
That
good
was such a
person or a
good
bad.
game.
That was so tense. Like half the game you're trying to become like overthrow your brother and then you're like your brother's telling you the truth of what's going to happen and now you got to make the choices to prepare your people for survival.
And then during that, it was either Fable 2 or 3, your mate would join you and then like take you to bed and you'd sleep with your mate.
Oh yeah. That was
Or was
Fable.
that just me?
That was
You
so-
trying to imply something to us here, Ben?
Oh yeah, you can make
Maybe
you
it's
can
just me.
make, you can make kids with your co-op partner.
Yeah.
Fable 3. Yeah,
I was all over that. I wasn't
Do you know
about
what,
that.
do you know what
ruling the
game was the
kingdom type.
worst? The worst for that? Did you guys ever play like Saints Row 4, the superpowers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
Oh,
if you
that's
come
so
out
good.
of if you come out of the simulation and go speak to everyone, you can just sleep with every
Yeah.
person.
Oh,
Even
that
that
was
robot.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
robot.
Even the
How
road,
you
even
got
the
that?
guy was so zesty, bro. It was unreal.
Oh,
I remember telling someone at school about that, and he took the mick out of me. And I was like, what? Just because I'm getting pissy and you're not? Come on.
Just because I went to Kenzie about 50 times in the same day.
Yeah.
Right,
Hey,
listen.
look, Kenzie was just like straight up and honest. You know, you just said, "Do you want to do it?" She's like, "Yeah, let's do it.
Punched you in the face, and then...
Go for it." Oh God,
No, I think
One other thing.
go on.
Go on. No,
I'll
on,
go first.
on, man.
Okay. It's going back to like, what would you like to see as a game though? So, is there anything you want to say before I go back to that?
Ooh.
I was literally going to go back to that as well and say
Go
I
on.
think that
Okay. Yeah.
a solo Venom game would be nice
Ooh,
to
yeah.
play. Because I played Spider-Man 2. I played all of them. I played all of them 4 times, right? Each. The mission where you play as Venom was fun. It was just really, really good. I really liked it. It was just fun. So I think a Venom solo game about just like a home planet or like other symbiotes in there so you can see everything else would be kind of like a cool thing. Or a Fantastic Four game.
Ooh,
Oh,
I would
yeah,
like to play a
yeah.
Fantasy 4 game. There is there's a game back in 2005 called Ultimate Spider-Man, and there's loads of levels where you play as Venom.
I remember that.
And
Remember that
that's the closest thing you can get to that game, and it was really good because he was literally, whereas Spider-Man's acrobatic, had a bit of combos. He's just a brute. You pick up cards and throw it to people. He
Yeah.
consumes people to like.
It had like
stay
a
alive.
different like walking and crawling style as well.
Yep.
I remember. Yeah, that was sick.
That's such a good game.
Yeah, maybe they're already making it.
Maybe.
Insomnia are already making
Maybe
it.
I would love to see what Insomniac could do because they're killing it with superhero games.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for their DLC for Spider-Man 2 to drop because it's nearly been 2 years. And
I don't think they're going to do that. I think their
But
main focus is
there was
Wolverine.
so many leaks though. Not leaks. There were so many hints inside the game that there was going to be more.
I think.
And I was just like, come on.
Yeah, I think when I was looking over it, because I was actually quite interested to see if they were going to do what they did with Spider-Man 1. They're from what I've heard, that's not their plan. Their full focus is on the Wolverine game, which has been leaked quite a bit in its very early stage, which is a
That's
shame,
so
really.
sad.
It's really
Yeah.
a shame. But when people were taking the piss when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this game looks absolute ass." But when I was watching, I was like, "Dude, this is becoming the Wolverine game I would want to play." It's
Oh, yeah.
brutal. It's
I'm
brutal.
so-
It's God of War combat. It looks so good.
I'm so happy it's not got shit movement. Like, the movement's actually decent. The way you
Yeah.
you cling on towards the claws. I'm so happy they've not. Insomniac's good company.
Yeah.
They do their best. They actually. It feels like they listen to their audience and.
Feels like they like making the game, you know.
Yeah, you can tell when they make their games, they want to make that game. So I cannot wait to see Wolverine when it's finished. I hope we get to see it. I really hope we get to see it because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But what about you? What about you? I was
yeah.
going to say.
I was going to say we'll try to go back to Siege in a sec, but I just want to say this is a game that I've consistently, a show that I've wanted consistently in like a game, and that's The Walking Dead, like that as like maybe like a Red Dead style again. I just want something with that sort of graphics, gunplay, and maybe like you have like settlements, you manage your settlement and shit. I'd love it so much. Make sure your defenses are up. And then you have like, remember the zombies in Red Dead?
Yeah.
Something like that, but a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be co-op for it to be a really good game because of all the other characters. If it was co-op, it'd go off probably.
Choices, actions and consequences and shit. Need that.
Yep.
I mean, there is a Walking Dead game though, is there not? The cartoon one.
Telltale.
There's
Yeah.
which based itself more on the comics and it's done its own thing.
I'm not really into all that, to be fair.
It was good though.
The closest you can get right now is State of Decay.
Yeah, and even that was fun. I remember playing that.
We need to play State of Decay at some point.
Yeah. That's what I like as well. You know, in games where you have something and you bond with it, and when it's dead, it's dead.
Yeah.
I like the feeling.
State of Decay was really good with that. You bond with the character that you leveled up, you progressed, and if your character dies, that's it.
Yeah, your character's gone. Same with in like Red Dead. The horse you have, if it dies, it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. GG's.
Good stuff.
Right, let's get back to Siege. I say.
Yeah, there's not really been much happening with Siege. Last week, is there?
Has been the last chance qualifiers. So we've got some of the teams that have qualified. So G2 have won the EU last chance qualifiers. They kind of, from what I watched, they breezed through the competition as they should do. They're one of the best teams that should go through and reach to Boston. For America, it's Oxygen. So they're going to go back to Boston. And the Six Invitational is happening in a couple of weeks, which I'm looking forward to a lot.
Yeah, I'm never really up to date with all that. I should be, but yeah.
I keep up to date every now and then.
So when's Boston happening?
I think it's happening middle of February. Around...
Oh, quite soon then.
Yeah, it's not that long away, fortunately. So we're actually going to get something going because at the moment, I will say, it's just been dry at the moment. Usually there's like an event that would happen.
Yeah, nothing. Usually there's drama. I mean, you had that Macy J bit of drama.
Oh, yeah. That was weird. What actually happened? Because I saw the clip and I watched it and there's no context to what really happened. It just looked...
From what I heard, this is not what... I'm not saying this is what happened.
Okay.
It's just... Macy J blocked his partner from his chat, his streaming chat. She found out and then had to go at him because he's streaming too much. Again, this is not like...
That's not confirmed. Happened. We don't know.
This is just what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit odd. It's a shame things like this have to go public, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Stuff that should be dealt with in private.
Sometimes it just happens and there's nothing you can really do. So I think the best thing for a lot of people is just don't like ignite the drama further. Just let it resolve itself. It's probably already been resolved in this case, to be honest.
Yeah, that happened 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah. So. And there was one of the videos where he was just finishing like this clutch and then she just bursts in through the door on the microphone going, "I've got fat food!" And he's like, that's great timing.
Yeah. I didn't see that one.
That was quite funny when I heard that. But actually, you know what? Speaking on just content creators at the moment, they're having I feel like I'll just say it as it is. It's a little hard to really get as much content out of the game currently right now.
Yeah, I really want to ask someone in the content game.
Mm.
We need to have someone on, right?
Yes.
I'd like to ask either anyone, Kudos maybe, like how does he make so much content so quickly?
That's
I
true.
don't know how he does it.
I think for
It's
the lore, it's a little bit easier.
I guess I think the lore vids you need to do more research, right?
Yeah.
And then you can just chat into the mic and put some gameplay behind it. But yeah, it's man, he's grinding.
He
He's
grinds.
yeah.
I'll give him respect on that because he's always pumping out content in a period where there's not much you can pump content out on. So kudos to Kudos for see what I
That's
did
terrible.
there?
Don't
No.
do that ever again.
Right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just mental. Like when something's announced, there's a video on YouTube by
Mhm.
Kudos or someone else. I see like 5 videos on something that's just been announced. I'm like, what? How are these people doing this?
Actually, that's
Yeah.
one question I want to ask. Because Rainbow Six Mobile's kind of been under the radar, but I know he's been doing a few videos on that. Would you ever play it, R6 Mobile?
No,
Definitely. I would definitely give it a go.
You wouldn't, Rendell, did you say?
I barely want to play Siege as it is now than
Yeah.
play it on mobile. I mean, I have basically quit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, unofficial retirement.
Oh, you know what? Let's make that part.
Basically done.
Okay.
The game is currently not installed
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
to stop myself from playing it. It's shit.
There we
Wow.
are.
It was there's like for me it's like there's no competitive edge for me no more. I just
Okay.
can't be asked. There's no reason for me to play it. It's like, oh, you get the next rank and there's no determination to get higher. There's just no point because what are you playing for? A fucking charm.
I do
Your
get that.
MMR don't matter no more. And
That's
and
true.
the other thing that pisses me off is like when I'm on my own, you've seen the screenshots. I'm always above 15 kills. When I play with you lot, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's because I can't. It's being in a 5-stack's rough, but
You're playing with other 5 stacks, typically.
and it's just long now. I just don't understand. I haven't enjoyed it in a while, so I just thought I'd take a soft break from
That's
Siege.
fair enough. I think a few things with that, right?
Hmm.
A few things I kind of relate to on a level there. With playing in a 5-stack, it's different. And I find that when someone's playing really good, or 2 people are playing really good, it's hard for you to play really good
Yeah, I agree.
because you need to try and fit into that some sort of role in the team.
Mm.
Yeah, I just find that when 2 people are playing really good, the others are not
side
playing
pieces.
really good. They're playing good, but yeah, it's hard to fit into an effective role when it's being gobbled up by 2 people. Let's just say.
Yeah, you've nailed it on the head, to be honest, because what I've started to notice a bit more with how I've been playing this season is essentially, I just don't expect to get many kills at the moment because that's not my job within my role, and I know that my priority is to basically open up site or help get the team on and enable them to frag out. And
That's the thing. It is finding your role in a 5-stack, and it can change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It can just change. Like one day you decide, I can't do this anymore. Like I want to switch up the play style. Yeah.
But I do agree. Like the MMR at the moment in the game means fuck all.
Yeah, I wanted to say about that as well. Yeah, Brendel's got a good point. So I go through phases of this, right? And I'm probably still in it now where I don't have the motivation to grind rank, to get a high rank.
Same.
But it's just a really satisfying game.
Yeah,
like,
that's
there's
the main
nothing
reason.
like it that if you do a round really well, it's just, I don't know, dopamine.
It's
Dopamine,
like
man.
if I play Valorant, I play for the rank. But when I play Siege, that's the difference why I keep coming back to it, even though there are moments I hate it. It's just such, for me, at least, it's such a good game. And
Yeah.
it's the moments like that where I don't care what rank I get. I think a good example was when we were playing yesterday and when we were doing some site executes. You don't typically get that level of detail in a site execute in other games. And
Yeah.
it's that intricacy that I come back to every single time. And I've realized that I don't come back for like the competitive nature. I come back for moments. And
I think it's playing as a 5-stack as well, isn't it? Where everyone's playing really well together. I think that's really satisfying as well. When you're all doing something to get around. Like at the end of it, it's just, you come away feeling, oh my god, we're actually the best.
Yeah.
We're the best players ever.
Exactly.
Even though you've just rushed site or something. But yeah, it's just satisfying. When everyone's doing their job well, it doesn't even have to be amazing. Like if you're doing your job to a good enough level, it's just satisfying.
It's like poetry in motion, as I like to say.
My whole thing is every time I hop on, regardless of who's playing or whatever, I'm not enjoying playing.
I think that's fair.
I'm not having a good time. Whether everyone notices or not. Like the other week, I played one game and thought, fuck this. Days later, I'm going off. This is shit. This is a fucking terrible game. Get me off of it.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Right now, I'm not enjoying it. Plus, when we play, is so many people talking at once, it's kind of hard to figure out what the fuck's even going on.
I think at the end of the day, it's just for the problem with Siege at the moment is those that stick with the game, like myself, stick for moments because there used to be something there that kept you grinding for more, but everyone can get them now. Like, the rank rewards are so easy to get. All you gotta do is just put the hours in, and that's it. You get them. Obviously, there's certain ranks that will be a little bit harder to get the rewards, but whereas if I was playing in CS, not CS in Premier mode, because that's a double-edged sword. I think it's a decent mode, but it's still got loads of cheaters that I don't think is good. Whereas like Face It, it's great. I love playing. Whenever I was playing CS:GO, near the end of it, I was playing Face It a lot, and I loved it to death. It just felt competitive. It felt raw, and people were playing together properly. Whereas in like Siege, it's down to luck of the dice, as I call it. Whereas if you're in a 5-stack, it gets a little bit better. But then that's also you gotta be happy with the 5-stack you're playing. You gotta like the game that you're playing and all that sort of stuff. So
that's the thing as well, right? Like there are some days where you play with the same 5-stack over and over again. There are some days where I'm just not in the mood to like speak to the people I speak to all the time. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not negative. It's just sometimes it's hard to play with
the same people.
Set people. Yeah.
You have to really get tolerant sometimes, because they're just like, for me, I've had days where, as you can tell, I just have a very short tick and I'm just tilted immediately. More recently,
You want to know what the biggest issue for a 5-stack for me is?
Go on.
It is never silent when it needs to be. Right?
Yeah.
So you'd
no,
be
that's
fighting
right.
someone and you'd say, hold on, be quiet a minute. Then someone will speak as they've swung you. So you've heard nothing and then you're dead.
I think with that, it is hard to, because it's not just yourself that believes that as well. I've heard people say, all right, everyone be quiet. It's like, that's a really big ask when you're playing with a 5-stack, when there needs to be call-outs. I think in points like that, you got to have the deafen button, like keybind somewhere.
That's what I've started to like.
It's what I done yesterday. Yeah, it's what I done yesterday.
Because I think that's the thing. And also, I will say in Siege, you still got to have people watch cams. You still got to think. When we play like Valorant, or you and I play Valorant, for example, all we can just see is the player's perspective, and that's it. So you have every reason to just shut up. And if people are trying to speak, they have no reason to speak, right? Whereas like in Siege, I might, when I'm in like a 1vx, got people on cams telling me where this person is and that, and it's still useful information. So it does help every now and then.
Yeah, I'd rather the info than no info at all.
Yeah,
the abundance of info.
If I knew if people give me good info, obviously I didn't act upon it in one game. Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
But if I had good info, then most of the time sound won't be as important in a game like that. Because then
Yeah,
I then know, right, well, they can see everything. I just listen to what they got to say, and then I can just act upon it. Easy.
I do find it really hard to like focus on calls. I've noticed, like, because I clip stuff and put it in a video.
Mm.
I'm listening to the clips. I'm like, I don't remember them saying that at all. Like this whole
Same.
minute of convo. Like, did that actually happen? I'm just zoned out.
That's just
I'm
it.
really good at zoning out.
You know
Uh,
what? There was a. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was gonna say borderline is don't like it at the moment.
No, it's fine.
Am I completely and utterly finished? No. Would I play it again at some point? Yes.
Mm.
Is it not going to be for a long time? Absolutely. Because one, I'm enjoying another game at the moment.
Mhm.
Two, the numbers don't lie.
I mean, that's true. I think at the moment,
Content has kind of boomed, especially on Valorant. So there's kind of like no reason for me to jump back into Siege so quickly.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. I like to balance it because at the end of the day, I like Siege so much. But I will say, at the moment, for a weird thing with Valorant is they have no replay system, which is very weird for a game that's been out for this long with a great studio ahead of it. Got no replay system. A lot of the ways that you can get content is a bit harder to get, but it's it's just one of them games where people really, really like it because it appeals to everyone. Like it appeals to absolutely everyone because it's not like Siege back in the day where it was meant for a certain audience and it tries to grow it. It's Valorant was intended to just try and be like Fortnite. Get as
Easier to
many,
cut.
yeah, easier to output to people and get people invested quickly.
No, I mean isn't easy to play.
Oh,
Easy to play. It's straightforward. 3 lanes, 2 sites or 3 sites. And yes, it's information overload with who has what abilities and stuff, but you can slowly progress into it. With Siege, it's like,
a building.
bang, here's a 3-story fucking building. You have people blowing up to your left, someone shooting above you, and some cunt trying to shoot from below you. Enjoy.
Yeah, I think with Valorant, it's learning is you learn the abilities
Yep.
and you aim better, and then you're there, right?
Mhm.
That's just my understanding because obviously I'm
Yep.
not a Valorant player.
Yeah.
Basically, what it is. That's what
yeah.
I've been doing. It's just work on your aim, learn the abilities, and maps. Of course, you have to know certain areas of
Oh,
the
the
maps, but
angles, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
because there's
easier.
so
This is not me dogging on Siege, but it's easier because Siege is very. This is where the uniqueness of Siege comes. The maps are mental. Like they're the best maps I've ever seen because it's a free story. You blow up
Here-
the floor, you blow up the ceiling. Do you know what I mean? So it's a
Here's
lot
a good
harder.
question.
go on.
Yeah. If you never played Siege up to this point,
Right.
would you get into it now?
Ooh. I have
Um,
I actually have an answer for this, very clear answer. But I'll let him say it first.
I think it would be difficult to answer, only because it's. I think it depends. If you've picked it up on your own, and you enjoy the game within the first 10 hours of playing it, then yes, you can say that I would continue on.
Mm.
If you've got people who are egging you on to play it, then it becomes a lot more easier to get into if you have other
Yeah.
people that play
Yeah.
it that can help and teach you. Where I feel like if someone picks up Siege on their own, it's not going to be, you're not really going to like get super into it. But would I play it now if I picked it up now? Yes, I would.
Mm.
But
Okay.
Okay.
it wouldn't be often like now. I'd probably
Okay.
still be the same as now, but
Okay.
I will go back to it at some point. Just not.
What
Maybe
about,
like a few weeks, maybe. I don't know.
what about you, Ben? Before I say my answer.
I was gonna say because I was thinking when Rendell's talking about like 3-story building, learning all these angles and whatnot. I was just thinking, oh yeah, that's long. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking if I was a new like starter now, I just could not be asked. Like even with Valorant, I can't be asked to learn the
Yeah.
abilities.
Mm.
I think I'm only playing Siege now because I have an understanding of
Yeah.
how the maps work and everything. If I just started brand new right now, I couldn't be bothered and I play Overwatch or Marvel Rivals or some like
Yeah, because
easy,
you've been
easy
banging
game.
out Marvel Rivals so much. I was expecting you to
just-
make some content from it.
He needs to because it
Yeah.
will go views.
I've literally got it recorded. I just
You need
my
to
editing.
edit it. Do it. Just do
You
it. I
need
want to
to
see
get
it.
that out because that will do numbers like it will.
My answer is if I was picking it up like today for myself, no, I wouldn't play Siege.
Oh,
I would be very honest because there's so much to learn, and there is very little reason to grind.
Yeah, and
Very
you're
little.
like you're 30 years old now, aren't you? So like,
Thanks, man. I'm coming up to 30 soon, yeah. But no, on a real note,
wait,
like,
no, you actually.
no, I'm like 4 years away, mate. Like 3 to
I
4
was
years
gonna,
away. It's a
gonna
joke.
fucking say, bro.
But on a real, if I was picking it up today, no, I don't think I would because there's
Yeah.
so much to learn. You have you've got 70 plus operators, each have their own unique abilities. Sure, the gunplay is a bit more simplified that you can actually, get used to it. But again, you got to learn about verticality. You got to learn about droning. You got to learn about destruction. You got to learn about then on top of that, how does your team work with one another? There's so much that you have to learn. Even if someone was to help me through it, I would still just start to give up because there's so much for a new player to learn, and there's no real good onboarding process for a new player. And they've only just started, and even then, in my opinion, it's not enough. It covers the very bare minimum, like the bare minimum that anyone can. That doesn't help, in my opinion, in a lot of ways.
that's the tough thing, right? So when you talk about like onboarding, it's yeah, the developers will then have to put time and money into new features to help new players come aboard, which is really important for a game.
Yes,
But then at that point as well, all the current players are like, why are you like implementing this? Like we're your players, you know?
that's true.
Spend time on us, spend money on us.
That's a
I don't
balancing
know.
act. Yeah.
That could just be a little theory of mine. I just find, yeah, I think people just get a bit salty, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, but I think it's also
When
a
they,
balancing act. Yeah.
yeah, when they tailor the game to new players, I think people see it in a negative way.
Could you not tailor it to new players while keeping the same integrity for the old players?
That's
As in, like, maybe make a new kind of casual mode where it makes learning easier, where
that's
you
what I was
have
about to say. Yeah.
like an easier map to learn, so they can learn the physics of the game, and they can. I know there's tutorials and stuff, fine, but playing in a tutorial than playing in a match is two completely different things. So if they made like an extra casual mode, not like to put new players against new players, but maybe change a map up slightly, or maybe do certain things where only certain characters can be used, so that way they can slowly progress forward if it's a game that they want to play.
I think one of the best examples for me is to like I'll go back to Valorant because there's some really good ideas, but CS is another great one because in CS you have multiple modes for the casual community to just ease their way in. So you have obviously your casual match, which you have up to like 12 people, and it's just a fucking mess, but it's funny as hell. Then you have like your extra little modes here and there, like gun game or arms race as it's called, so then you can learn, okay, this is how this weapon feels, and you get used to each weapon. Siege kind of incorporates some of it, but like, you know, there's not many modes where it's quick, it's instant. There was an idea, I can't remember who made this idea, but to revamp Quick Match where it's so quick so that people, because people can sometimes, there's some people and have low attention spans, they can learn the game with such like little time so then they can go, okay, this is how sights should look. This is where the attackers can come in, and then you start to ease them through with different modes. So then
Yeah.
it gets to ranked. You're playing the game at its core, what it should be.
I've seen that with Warzone and Fortnite. They have like this mode where it is just tiny map.
Yep.
Really close quarters. You just drop in, pick up a gun, you start fighting. I think that's a good way of learning. As you said, just jumping into it over and over and over again.
Literally, have like a mode where it's literally retake servers, like in CS. So all you have is say you go into a mode and you have 4 people against 3 people. Yeah, so 3 on attack, 4 on defense. Let's say they planted in Villa. Yeah, on the top floor by Aviator and Bar. Yeah. Now you have four defenders that need to work together. They just spawn at a certain part of the map. They now need to work together with limited resources to try and retake the site. And the attackers then learn, okay, this is how you take the site. And then you have another mode where the attackers just have to plant the bomb. They learn how to plant the bomb. You're teaching them the basics. And then they learn different strategies. And then when they go into an actual game, they can then apply those things. But you do it in a shorter format so that people don't have to worry about combining a couple of things at the same time and constrict the map. So they have to focus on how do you take this bomb site. And then you'll learn strategies better.
I think the problem with Siege as well, one problem I have with it consistently is how long it takes to load things, to load into a game. Just takes so long. So like as a new player, I'd just be sitting in that loading screen constantly, and I think that would frustrate me a fair bit.
I actually figured out why it's so long as well.
Why?
So the QB anti-cheat, right? Essentially, from what I gathered, and this may be common knowledge to a lot of people, but I've only discovered this like a few weeks ago. It is basically encrypting the entirety of the code that is used to run Siege. So what they're doing is they're launching a game at its base, then they'll relaunch it with the encrypted version, which can also impact performance a bit because they're trying to basically create a version of Siege that is so hard to penetrate that, you know, if they do, it gives them ample amount of time to basically catch cheaters. I may be paraphrasing a lot of it here and some of it may be incorrect, so bear with me. So they're doing that, and as a result, it takes a long time because they first have to recognize the version of the game, make sure it's the exact version that they have basically ready to encrypt. Then they exit the game, load up the encrypted version, which then takes forever. And then it's like, okay, now that you've done this bit, making sure everything's all lined up with DirectX 12 or DirectX 11, then the game can run. And I imagine that because it's encrypted, it takes slightly longer to do certain process because it needs to decrypt the code. Again, if I'm talking gibberish, please let me know. It needs to decrypt everything, understand what it's saying, and then run it. So it's doing a longer process to try and make, basically as an anti-cheat measure on top of BattlEye and all that other stuff. And the problem is
really necessary.
It doesn't half the time.
It doesn't work.
That's what I was about to say. It doesn't work.
I will be honest though, there hasn't been many cheaters lately. Touch wood.
And you just jinxed yourself. Congratulations.
But Touchwood, he has actually got a point. We have been playing a lot of people that have barely been cheating, which has been
we've been playing with a lot of neeks though.
Oh my god.
We've been playing because of our hidden MMR. We've been playing with a lot of people who are like sweat the game to champ, and it's really, really infuriating.
One thing as well, like let's compare it to Marvel Rivals.
Go on.
It takes literally less than a minute to load, and then when I press find game, I'm in a game. Siege, I'm spending 5 minutes loading up 2 versions of the game apparently, to then take 2 minutes to find a ranked game, to then take like another 2 minutes to ban the maps, ban the operators, and then we're like spending 30 seconds, so another half a minute picking the operators we want to play for the site, and then we load in, we set up, and then the game starts. Like it's just so
just to lose,
long-winded.
The fun to lose. Just a bunch of virgin, fatherless little kids in the basement who play this game 24/7.
The funny thing is, we were chatting about this, and we just said, you know what? If they actually cut down the amount of downtime that you had to go through in this game, the player base would be doubled. And I actually agree. There's so much downtime just to get into a game. It's ridiculous.
Do you not remember the amount of people that said, "I want ranked to be more like Pro League," and so many people pushed for map bans, operator bans, and now everyone's like, "Oh no, we don't like it no more."
I think the problem is that people, right? So when it comes to Siege Cup, there should be map bans, and I feel like operator bans should still be a thing because it gets there's certain characters that are just inherently, it's, you know, Ubisoft can recognize there's characters that are inherently broken, and then they can actually try and jump on it as quick as they can. I'm hoping that they actually update Blackbeard for next season, so he's not as oppressive somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they got to. But map bans, the main reason was it was allowing us to get a bit of variety in what maps we want to play and that we're comfortable with. But it's become a bit pointless where sometimes it just gets a bit stale. Sometimes you get a good map here and there, which is out of the blue, but it can. Look, I think the main problem is people just keep picking the same maps, can get a bit stale, and that's why people say how it. Like,
I like the bans and stuff because it allows you to try things and force different play styles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think the time to do all that needs to be cut down a bit.
Yeah, I think.
Like, if no one's paying attention, if no one's thought about what map we're playing or whatever, then they should get penalised and they
Agreed.
should ban the wrong map if they've not spoken about it.
You gotta cut down that time. Yeah,
It needs to be quick and snappy.
that's all. I think it can
But
work. It just needs to cut down on the time.
going back to Siege Cup, I will link you both the tweet, or both of them, as Basat. But Kudos has tweeted saying Siege Cup should be every weekend and
I've
not
seen that
whenever
tweet.
they announce it. But under it, and if you look into our group chat that I've sent you guys the photo that was in the link, someone said, "Why not every day? This is the Rocket League tourney schedule for this week."
Yeah, I've
and
seen that tweet.
this is real. This is every single day and every single week. This is what that's what the Rocket League schedule is.
Yes,
Put that
I
on the
have.
screen.
I have seen. I have.
Sneaky.
Oh, yep. Let me pull it up. Give me two.
You can do it post. You can do it post in the video.
Yeah, we'll do. But I'll pop it over somewhere. But yeah, I have seen this tweet. I have seen this schedule. I agree with Kudos. It should be every weekend. And for this, here's my stance on it. The reason why I'm very confident that this will never happen is UB won't put the effort. Well, not as that UB won't put the effort, but again, everything's still a work in progress. I would love it when they do it something like this, but I would never expect it to happen. But they should do it on a weekend. Get as much.
Yeah, but this keeps being thrown around like it's in beta, it's still work in progress. But like, what? How could you work on it and improve it if you're doing it every like couple of months?
Yeah, I
You know?
agree. That's why I say like it should be every week. That's why I do agree. It should be every weekend, and have a team dedicated to just collecting data from it every single weekend.
I have just seen the greatest tweet ever under the Siege Cup tweet was someone put, "Your anti-cheat and mousetrap is as useful as a toothpick for a shovel." That's good. I like that one.
That's a good one.
But there's so many like, even Zim cheaters. I know that we said we didn't get a lot of cheaters coming on. It's a thing, but mousetrap doesn't exactly work.
That's more of a
Anymore.
console issue, really.
But from coming from console and playing in the Zim kind of era, 3 years ago, it is tough. But the main way to counter it, from what I saw last time, was if you use your controller to continuously spin around in the prep phase, you can use your M&K for the round, as long as the round is 5 minutes or whatever, and then go back to using controller and constantly spinning around. Mousetrap won't detect you because it thinks you're using the controller. And by the time it goes, hold on, is he using the mouse and keyboard? You've picked up your controller again.
I think the main reason down to that why they won't like. I think the easiest simple solution is ban Sim players, but they won't because they want to keep them for monetary reasons. So like,
yeah,
that's the main thing. They want to keep them here. Say, oh, we'll give you a chance because you can still spend money on us.
I know all the console players are fuming at that.
There is a few replies in here that I've seen, and I don't know if you guys know anything about this. Is why I'm going to mention it. Apparently, with the Siege Cup, there are glitches, sound glitches, connection errors, and especially if I lag out of the Siege Cup, my 5-stack turns into a 4, and then I can't join back, and then that's the tournament over for us. So it looks like not only is it bugged out in terms of base Siege Cup, but it also looks like if you lag out, you can't join back.
That sounds like Ubisoft. Ding ding.
That's good.
That's just what I'm just reporting what I'm seeing because I'm just looking at the thread. But that seems to be the most continuous thing that people are saying, is that if I lag out because it's laggy, because the Siege Cup's laggy in general, then I can't join. It doesn't allow me to join back. There's no reconnect kind of thing. So I'm not too sure with what the thing. But one question I do want to ask, because I don't know. I think Shannon's gonna. Is it available for console or is this a PC only thing?
PC only.
Ah, okay, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because they can. I don't know. Maybe it's because. I actually don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. They usually, to be fair, they usually push a lot of stuff on PC first, then they do console.
Yeah.
That's probably the reason why. But you know
It's
what?
really odd, right?
Go on.
Why? I mean, if it's true, again, we can't confirm because we don't get to play.
I know.
It's like, why are there so many bugs? If that is the case, like, surely it's just it's the same game, but a different playlist.
Yeah, that's what I
What
would have
is
thought.
so different about Siege Cup?
That's what I would have thought. It's literally just
I
a
guess,
playlist up.
yeah, it's tournament based and yeah, no, thinking about it, there are some differences, yeah.
Yeah, but then even then, if you treat it like you're treating a custom game, it's different parameters that you got to set up, different aspects that you got to set up. Maybe the queuing is the only thing I would probably say that has to be different, but besides that,
Yeah.
it should be the same.
You have to stay in the same sort of server, don't you?
But even then,
It's odd though. How does that affect the sound?
maybe the
don't get
server maybe the server that they're utilizing for the Siege Cup is of poor quality. I don't know. I'm spitballing ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Again,
game developer, so I can't say.
We don't even know if these are issues because again, we can't try it. Yeah,
There's
that's
so
where we're at with
many,
it.
just so many things that we would like to just get answered, but we never could,
We'll
because
never know.
because of how it's designed,
We're
how
not
it's
allowed to play
done.
it.
We're not allowed to play it. We're not allowed to do this. But a little bit on a more positive note, how has everyone been enjoying their other games besides Siege? Like, for example, I know you've been playing Marvel Rivals a lot.
I'd say a lot. I'd say a fair bit. Yeah.
Every time I
Um,
see you stream, I go on and you're on Marvel Rivals. Every single fucking time. And like I'm like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, he should just start making content on this thing. He'd be stupid not to. He'd been on that game continuously. And it's
I
even making me
reckon-
think about downloaded it.
I could be an Overwatch streamer. One of
I
them.
would be down to play Overwatch. I just don't like Marvel Rivals personally.
Yeah.
But I do
I-
actually like Overwatch. Go on.
I enjoy those games. I really enjoy them. They feel casual to me. Like they're nice and colourful, and it's just satisfying.
Paladins was my game.
I never played that one.
I played
It was really
Paladin.
good.
It's like you had your heroes, but then you use your like cards that you collect to build different like classes of your heroes. So like they have
Yeah, it
different
sounds
attributes.
familiar.
Different attributes that you can like customize and make them your own. So they could be like one character could be a movement demon, or they could be a powerhouse. It's unique, but it didn't really carry on that well. I find like Marvel Rivals is cool. I did play it, but the more I play it, I'm just like, and I think this is my personal opinion, Overwatch does it slightly better.
You think?
I think so, yeah. I think it just feels a bit more tighter in terms of gameplay. Like when I play damage characters or even support characters, every now and then I, touch Overwatch. It's just like the game just feels good to play, really.
The one thing I'll say about Marvel Rivals, though, even though I've not played it, but the amount of stuff I've seen, it genuinely looks like there's passion behind the creating of the game. Every single character has an amazing animation when you click them. The MVP animations are insane. All of the outfits and stuff are all just unique in their own way. It does genuinely look like the
Dude,
creators.
The Spider-Man No Way Home animation slaps
That's
so
what I'm saying.
hard.
It
So
generally
clean.
feels like the devs are like enjoying themselves when they're making it. Just makes it 100 times better.
They were definitely enjoying themselves when they made that Invisible Woman outfit.
Dude, the character designs for the game is absolutely top tier, and the amount of memes that I saw while I was on TikTok where people just was like, I can't remember what character it was, but they had like a very unique outfit, and then it was like, yeah, I need to buy this. I don't care how much it costs. She looks amazing. I must buy it.
That's something different as well. Like to compare it to Siege, right? My Twitter feed has been filled with Marvel Rivals, and it's been nice. It's been really nice to see post of a game, and it just like comparing it to Siege. It's like with Siege, all the like Twitter posts I usually see, it's about complaints or grinding. Yeah, Siege feels very serious, like very competitive all the time, and it can get a bit. I like that, and that's why I play Siege.
Yep.
That competitive aspect of it, but yeah, it just gets a bit stale, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then with Marvel Rivals, I'm seeing like memes and fun little content being made of it, and it's just refreshing. So.
What about you, Rendell? Obviously I know what game it is, but talk to us. What's the game that you've been playing outside of Siege now that you've taken a massive break from it?
Skate 3.
Skate 3.
No, I'm
That's a
joking.
To be fair, I would
No,
be
it-
playing Skate 3 if you know.
It was the fact that you went, I know what a game was going to be, so I had to really think about what game was going to throw you off. No, I have been playing Valorant for the past month and a bit,
You've
and
been
it's
grinding that game a lot.
Making
Yeah.
the content, pumping
Yes.
that content out.
yeah, I am genuinely pumping it out. The numbers are doing good. Content's
Yeah,
doing
your
alright.
stretch for Reds was like 35K. I looked
Yeah.
at it
I
earlier,
was
think.
really impressed with the numbers for that.
Yeah, but the game is just it's brought that competitiveness back out in myself, where to the point like it's hard to think about because I'm thinking about the game when I'm not playing the game, and when a game does that to you,
That is
that's
good.
when you know
That's
that
good.
you have a. That's when you know that you need to go to rehab and you need to really start thinking about life choices. It's genuinely I've really enjoyed it. The learning aspect of it as well. I think I've learned it incredibly quickly because I've gone from being
Iron
unranked to moving up
to like silver. Yeah.
gold. I got to like gold 1. No, yeah, gold 1. Pretty much one game off gold 1,
Oh,
going
yeah.
from the bottom to the top in one act. And once I did that, I was like, "Do you know what? I reckon I can actually get good at this game." And if you watch the first video I did to the latest one, or even the clips I got today, you can definitely tell that there's some improvement
It's a unique
within
game.
those 2 weeks.
It's a unique game. I remember trying to teach Ben, but I can understand for him moving and shooting. He just likes to move and shoot at the same time. And I think that adds a dynamic to a game that's quite unique, which is why Spectre Divide has been something that we both were like quite excited to play.
Oh, we ain't
Yeah.
played that in so long.
I would be down to play it. I would actually
New
be down.
season came out.
Oh
didn't
wait, yeah. When the new season comes out with the sprinting mechanics,
Was it
yeah,
not out?
not yet. I don't think it's out yet. It might be out. I'd have to double check. But if it is, I'd be down to play it. I want to see what the pace of the game is like now.
That game was so good, and the developers behind it were really nice as
Passionate.
well.
They're passionate. That's a shame because I really enjoyed the game. It's so cool, but just not enough people wanted to give it a try. I think the matter of pacing was a lot of people's problems, so they were addressing that a lot.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. When you
I
guys,
enjoyed it.
I was a bit like, I don't know, but I'll give it a go and play with you. And after a while, I was like, yo, you want to come and Spectre Divide today? Is that what we're doing today, boys?
And I was like, yeah, we're doing it. And then we have to wait 5 minutes to get a game. And I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah, that's what kind of killed it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I remember
for
we
us.
tried it one of our last times, and it was just
5
searching
minutes.
for the game.
Otherwise, me and Ben would still be playing it. 100%.
Yeah.
100% would be playing it because we were really like getting into it.
Once
The community
again,
was nice. It was good.
that's what Marvel Rivals does fantastically.
Yeah, gets him into
Very,
the game.
very low key terms. Yeah.
I would be down to play some Overwatch again at some point, genuinely speaking. I want to see how that feels now that I've played Marvel Rivals. I want to try Overwatch again and just see if it's me being, what do you call it, bit just pessimistic about Marvel Rivals, and maybe it's not my kind of game overall, like that MOBA style, or maybe I actually prefer Overwatch, or maybe I'll give Marvel Rivals another go. I might reinstall it, give it another go. But at the moment, my game of choice outside of Siege has been Valorant, as I've been playing it a lot on my spare time.
Woo!
How's that?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I used to hate it. I went through a love, then I despised the game.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Last time I
God.
spoke to you a few months ago.
Yep.
I can't remember how long it was actually.
It was
like,
several months ago. It was halfway through the year. Yeah, I remember
You
this.
uninstalled Valorant. He's like,
Yep.
I'm never playing this game ever
Yep.
again.
Yeah, 100%. I hated it.
Oh,
I absolutely despised the game.
because your randoms had a go at you as well.
Yeah, because a lot of them were
Bro,
idiots.
Ben, you have no idea. I played right. Okay, I need to tell you two things that happened to me while I was playing. Right now, the first one, I'm Rainer, right, and I'm dead. Okay, and
Mhm.
I said to the sage, get me, revive me because then we'd have more of an advantage. And she goes, no, I have to save it for the jet.
Oh.
So a little
It's so disgusting.
couple
These
goals.
e-couples, bro. And then the other
Oh.
thing that happened to me was I loaded up into a game and I went hello, and then all I heard was from four people, Francais, Francais. I went no, and he all started screaming at me in French, and I was like, "What have I done?" He goes, "You don't speak French. How dare you don't speak French?" I said, "Bro, this is a London fucking server. What do you mean? Like, you can't." Yeah, and I genuinely wanted to cry because I was being
Getting
complained
shouted by French
at
people.
four French people in French, and they were upset because I didn't speak French on the London server. So,
Valorant,
other than that, the game's great.
Valorant. I think what helped me a bit was that I took a step back. I took that step to go, I'm uninstalling the game. Don't want to play anymore. And then I gave it a go. I was like, oh, fuck it. Let's give it another try. And then I was like, what? Let's go back to the fundamentals. Where am I going wrong? And then I started to work on those like I would do with other games. And then I was like, okay, let's work around it. Let's build ourselves up. And it's been like from how we've learned how to play Siege, I started to go, let's take those aspects, pop them into this game. And then I started realizing, oh, okay, it's hitting a niche now, which is weird because I used to hate this game. What the fuck? And then I kept playing it, kept learning it, and eventually something clicked with me, and then I've been kind of addicted to it again, to the point where I decided to grind out a bit of ranked from plat 2. Oh no, I started out the whole episode in silver and I got to diamond 2. And I was almost at ascendant, which is like close to basically like 2 ranks off champ in Siege.
Very good.
So
That's nice.
I was like, okay, I've got something going on here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh.
that's been my game. I would like to try diversifying a little bit more because I feel like there's other games that we don't give enough of a chance to play together as a group.
Yeah, there's just no time, is there? Like, Siege consumes all the time, and then, like, yeah, I want to play like a bit of Marvel Rivals. What's another game we've been playing recently as well? Can't even remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, there's like single player games. I love playing like City Builders. Love all that, and they take hours of my time. Like Civilization, hours. I could spend a whole day playing Civ. I used to do that.
Just playing a bit of Ready or Not. That's a good game to play. Again, yeah, it comes back to the fact that Siege is a dedication. As with many games of today, it's all dedication. Valorant's dedication. CS is dedication. Marvel Rivals, even to a degree, if you want to get good at that game, that's dedication that you got to sacrifice to just like get really, really good. That's actually, one of the starting to get towards the end, like one of the last questions. Would you ever get competitive in like Marvel Rivals?
Uh, I could see myself doing it. I just don't know if I can be bothered
Okay.
to do it.
What's stopping you from being bothered?
It's just learning. I
Fair
really
enough.
don't like learning. It's
fair
a
enough.
really draining process for me. But yeah, it's like learning what hero counters what other hero. Same with Overwatch. It's just I know that like McCree's gonna counter Pharah or whatever. Yeah, it's just learning what sort of lineups work best against others. And I guess it can't take that long compared to Siege.
No, I think you could actually get competitive at the game because I see you grind the game and you actually got a good understanding of Marvel Rivals than I would. So I
Yeah,
think
when I'm not being healed.
when you're
I'll
not being
start
healed,
shouting.
you're literally commanding the team. Like I feel like you could actually get like really good at the game and make some really good content while you're doing Siege as well. And I think that's a really good thing for you to try until Siege starts bringing out some new content with the Invitational.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to try it. To
Yeah.
try ranked. I get scared. Get scared of playing ranked in other games.
I do as well, but then you just got to go with the attitude of just like, what have you got to lose? And also just Just see what clips you can get out of it. That's all you got to care
That is
about.
the worst advice, Ben. What you need to do is you need to go into it like, I'm better than you. You're all fucking shit.
I need to be toxic. Yeah.
You think you're the king? Yeah, you need to go in there and just be like, listen, mate, you lot are a fucking pile of shit.
You're worthless.
Compared to me.
Don't talk to me.
Wow. Okay, so now
That's what I normally say when I insta-lock Jet, and everyone gets upset.
So you went the route of essentially, like, I'm trying to be quite a positive-minded route. You all just went, fuck them. Show 'em why you're the king. That's it.
I like Rendell's advice. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, thank you.
You know, take his advice over mine. Actually, that
And
probably would work.
any time someone tries to like chat shit to you, no matter what, it doesn't matter what their KD is in the game, just repeat their kills and their deaths to them. Trust me, it pisses them off. It fucking annoys them. I was going like 8 and like 7 yesterday, and this guy on the top on the other team was going, I think I had like 15 to 8. And then every time he tried talking to me, I just put 15 to 8. And he just got so upset for no reason. Just do that. It works.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the thing. That even when people aren't toxic and they tell me to do something, that annoys me as well. Right. I think I've said this in a previous pod.
You did. I think you said this in the last one.
Some guys
Yeah.
always like, hey guys, I think we should try a different strat. and
Shut
maybe we
up.
might better win. I think you should shut
Shut
up.
Just shut up. I don't like
No.
it.
I think
I
you're
think-
thinking too much. Just stop.
I think it definitely depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I just want to do my own thing. Like, I'm going to play how I want to play. But, example, yesterday, I played Marvel Rivals, surprise. And the team was like, oh, guys, can someone go healer? And I know no one else is going to go healer. Like, who's
So,
gonna...
yeah, you do it. I remember watching this.
So I was like, I'll do it, but I'm probably not going to be good. And they were like, that's fine. So I was like, all right, they're nice about it. So I'll do it. Do it for them. Teamwork.
Nice. Oh, that's nice. I thought you was gonna go. You were just gonna swerve us for a second, but
I was going to go, so I played it, did terribly, and they all screamed at me.
Yeah, that's what I was
No, I
expecting.
think I was probably the best healer ever. Maybe best healer EU, Marvel Rivals.
I
Oh,
will
that's,
say,
that's a title.
I will say though.
Watch this space.
Oh, go on! I want to see a video. Best healer in EU.
Best
Boom.
Jeff ever.
Can I just say, I don't understand Mr. Fantastic's ultimate. I really, really don't like
He
it.
just turns into a brick
Bro,
shithouse.
I don't play it. I don't play it, but I don't like his ultimate.
Bro, I've played it more than you guys, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
I don't
I've
even
not
know
even
what his
touched
ult
it.
is.
You don't know
I
what
don't know
his
what
ult
it's
his
is?
where
ult
he
is.
like goes up and he just like smacking his fists down in like random places, and it's really hard to hit him because he's doing it quite quickly. It's just
Right.
I think it's a bit dumb. It
That
could have
was
been better.
I think the funniest ultimate, well, actually for me the funniest ultimate because it's been memed on so much. There was this TikTok video where he was a Scar between Marvel Rivals, and he's just basically going through PTSD saying, and he kept saying again and again
Oh,
and
yeah.
again.
I've seen that.
Essentially, Bucky has this ultimate where he just does like this power, like Doomfist style, like punch. He goes armed and dangerous, and if he gets a kill, he does it again and
Oh,
again
no way.
and again. And I get PTSD when I hear that. I'm like, again. I was like, fuck, we're dead. We're dead.
Funniest thing, especially with like Valorant, is when people use the ultimates as a voice line, and if you kill them in the perfect time and it cuts the voice line off.
That was,
And there's this character with Neon, and her voice line is "Hey, I'm pissed." And in the game we played the other day, all her is "Hey, I'm pit." Dead. I think it's the funniest stuff going when you like cancel someone's voice line on their ultimate.
the funniest
You
one
know what,
was
Same as what's I know what her
Clove.
ultimate is, but no, Scarlet Witch's voice line.
Oh,
It's
what,
so
Reyna?
weird. No, Scarlet Witch's on Marvel
Oh,
Rivals.
rival.
Her voice line for her ultimate, she like screams,
Oh.
and it takes really long to get out as well.
Yeah. The voice lines on that game, I have to say, not like the alt voice lines, but just the generic, like, they're just chatting. It's just so cringe. I can't stand it.
Yeah, but they're superheroes, aren't they? It's gonna be kind of like that.
Reminds
It's just like
Go on.
Penny Parker and Peter Parker, like, talking, and
Oh.
Penny's like, oh my god, is that Spider-Man? And then Peter's like, do I know you? And Penny's like, oh, maybe it was a different Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man's like, oh, at least we're together now. It's like, what?
It's
What am
such
I
cringe.
listening to
It
right
is
now?
cringe.
What in the
Yeah.
Gregory down the street who has children? Sorry.
Such a
It
descriptive way.
really gets my nerve.
it is kind of cringe, but it's the same as you can say the same with Overwatch
Yeah.
with
That's-
Hanzo and Genji because I remember years and years ago when I was watching streamers play it, there was this streamer who was Japanese and went, "What the fuck did he say? Like, what was that?" And
What
I
it
thought
was
that
like,
was
oh, yeah.
I thought that was very funny. He's like, "What is that voice line?"
Yeah,
Uh,
sometimes they just make noises, it sounds like.
there's
No, but it's like I think every character and most people who do voice lines, it can be cringe.
the weirdest
Yeah.
like voice lines when it comes to like any sort of like character based shooter, even in Siege. When you kill Asami, I remember when she launched, she had like the weirdest moan when she died.
I thought she still has that.
She still does, and I just hear it go and I'm like, what the
Yes,
fuck?
really sexual.
I was like, oh,
and
okay.
Doc, when he heals himself, it's like, oh.
It's like he just goes, oh. I'm like, oh, all right.
I
We're
don't know.
drinking something here.
If one day you steam yourself with stock and he goes, "Oh, Ronov," just random
Again.
There's a random voice.
Do
And
it
again,
Do it again.
and again, and
Doc,
again.
what the fuck?
It's the
We're
same
trying to
with
clutch
Valorant
it.
though. There's so many voice lines where it's like Jet says one in the buy phase. I think we should play as a team. It's just like shut the fuck. Like I'm the character and I'm telling it to shut the fuck up. There is genuinely there's in any game there's going to be a cringe
Yeah.
voice line.
There was a
Yeah.
funny moment where Clove has her like ultimate line as the enemy. She goes, "You had your fun, my turn," and she's reviving herself. And
Yeah.
I'm there with Chamber, and she's just revived herself. I went, "Fuck off!" Bang, shoots her.
Yeah,
the
I put
fucking
that in
head.
my TikTok, Valorant core TikTok. Yeah,
It was just a moment. It was like, "You had your fun, my turn." Gets her gun out. Fuck off. Bang, dead.
Did you see the ISO one, where that the ISO was following the Sage
Oh,
in my seat? I thought that was hilarious when I was watching. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
oh mate.
I remember watching your Valorant core. That was a good little
Yeah,
show.
it was good little shit.
I like that.
Don't touch me. Or the I'm asthmatic.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
such a random
Yeah.
thing. I remember that. It's like you gotta get this. It's like, yeah, I'm asthmatic. I thought, what the fuck?
There was a pause in between it as well.
It was the greatest thing that she could have said in that time.
I will say, Valorant people, especially in like unranked, are some of the funniest people I've ever come into contact with. Like
There was
genuinely
even
funny
in
people.
ranked. I was playing ranked yesterday, and this Raze and this Phoenix were quite clearly duo together.
Mm.
And and the Raze went out and went, "Damn, it smells like Updog in here." And then obviously Phoenix has gone, "Oh, what's up, dog?" And he goes, "Nothing much, man. How are you?" And he goes, "Oh, fuck off, fuck you, bro." And then they start going in on each other. So quite obviously they were party
Planning.
together, but it was just funny. It was like, what the fuck is going on? And then one of them said to me, he goes, "Oh, are you from the UK?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, did you go to like some clothes school?" And I was like, "No." And then the Phoenix was like, "Don't listen to him because that's a school for the special." And I was like, "Oh my god." Then he
Brilliant.
goes,
Oh, God.
and I was like, what is going on? And they kept referring to it. That's what I'm saying. Valorant people can be very funny.
You don't
Yeah.
get that
Even,
often with Siege these days. Like a lot of used to be back in the day when we were playing Siege. We had some mad people.
I think you get that the higher up you go,
Yeah, I think we
higher
just
elo you go, people are a bit more like toxic and
yeah. All they
Not even
all they do now is just throw shit because that's all they have. It's just this game. And that's it. Which is quite
I
sad.
remember talking in, I don't know if it was Marvel or Overwatch, like one of my first games.
Mm.
And yeah, I was like, "Oh, you're right, guys, how's it going?" Text chat, British. I was like, brilliant.
What a start! Right, you know what? Fuck you then.
Yeah. What's wrong with the British accent?
I know. There's
know?
nothing wrong with it. But oh well.
Yeah.
People have a problem.
trying to find a clip from. I mean, it might be on TikTok actually if I look on there. So Ben won't know who it is, but Sheldon, you know who Tarek is, right?
Oh, I know who Tarek is. I followed him.
You know who Tarek is, right?
Yes, I know who he is.
So there's something they've added new in Valorant. It's called what have they called them?
Oh, so essentially you get like these little flip phones now. It's weird. I'll put a clip on the podcast. So you basically get like a little mobile phone, so you can just keep switching. Just for people with low like attention spans, they can just keep clicking on it, and it's something happens. And they have like this other thing where they can carry like a snowflake at the moment, and you can keep spinning it. It's a weird thing. It's so weird.
So this is what I'm gonna show. This is what the Valorant community does, and this is fucking hilarious. And I love every second the fact that it's like this. He's ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I've heard this. What is going on?
That is actually an emote now.
That's an emote
That's
in
an
Valorant
emote.
now, and
That's
someone's gone in voice chat and done the
Your phone
thing.
Oh my god.
So he's brought out his.
I thought that was
phone and then
part of
done
the.
No, that isn't.
No, no.
Oh my god.
It's just someone who's just randomly gone and done it. Used the emote and then done that.
You literally, yeah, you have like, you can now just equip a phone in game and you can just
Or
spam
or
it.
a snowflake.
Or a
as well.
snowflake. It's so weird, but I've been using it when I have like, I'm waiting for something to happen, so I just go, digga, 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 digga. Come on, something's gonna happen now.
For the ADHD men then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that.
basically.
For anyone with autism or ADHD, that's your relief. You've got a phone now.
Cool. I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, this has been a bit of an all over the place, but it's been nice talking about just, you know, shooting the shit, really.
Just bomb stuff.
That's just brilliant. Nah, it's been
Anyway,
good.
thank you. If you've listened this far, if you have. Oh, you're right, sis. Doing an outro.
We're doing an outro.
You've interrupted the outro.
Wow. I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that.
That's it. That's the outro.
Oh,
See you
wow.
later.
Oh,
You're right,
bye.
right.
Subscribe.
Subscribe and all that jazz.